Hey, I hope you are having a good day, a good week, and I hope that this series is helping you dive in and end 2020 with your dreams becoming reality. I know that there are so many people that start things, right? We are expert starters. If you are still here 3 weeks into this, it is because you have decided that you are going to show up. And that is something that you have to decide over and over and over again every single day, right? You will not always be motivated. So you have to learn to be disciplined. And if you're here, it's because you want your dreams to become reality. Over the last 5 years, there has been a lot that I have learned in social sharing, network marketing, in Plexus, and in my own personal growth. And they are not kidding when people say that social sharing is a compensation plan attached to personal growth. And so I know when I start things like this, when I was thinking about the last 90 days of 2020 and all the things that I want to accomplish, and even in getting this group together, I was in overdrive. When I did my brain dump, I was thinking of all the things that I wanted to be able to share, things that I've learned, back office tips, getting through stuff, messaging, network expansion, all the things, right? But I really, really want to be able to give a foundation to grow on. Instead of just throwing all the things together and doing all the things at once, I am a firm believer that if we do things little by little, right, baby steps still walk a mile, and we actually really learn how to incorporate those things into our everyday and how to get over the things that are holding us back. And that's exactly what we're going to do this week. I cannot wait to talk about expanding your network and growing and doing all the things. And I want you to be doing your IPAs every single day. That is key in this, your income producing activities, your impact producing activities. But before we get to any of the other stuff, I think that it is super, super important to talk about fear stories surrounding objections. We've talked about fear stories just a little bit, but objections are huge in social sharing. Not every single person, right, is ready to join you right away. And we can give you all of the tips. And this week, we're going to share some amazing videos about really common objections that we get, about cost objections, time objections, network objections, not knowing every single thing about the products. But when you know how you feel about those objections, it is super, super important. Objections are not just about the person that is saying no, right? It's about how we respond to it. And the more confident and comfortable we are, absolutely matters. So before we get going this week, today, I just want you to take a couple of minutes and I want you to think about some of the common objections that you are faced with. I know that when I first started this, I kind of had this idea or perception that, okay, once I hit gold, I'm going to feel really, really comfortable and confident. And when people tell me things that they are feeling or that they don't want to get started, I won't take it so personal. I'll be able to handle that objection. But that's not the way that it works, right? We don't ever just arrive at a certain rank, if anybody else is feeling that. We don't just arrive at a certain rank and then all of a sudden everything is perfect and we know how to handle everything. But if you dive in to the things that you are feeling surrounding those objections, it 100% matters. Because here's the deal. We can give you all the scenarios. We can tell you, we can type up IPAs, we can give you the messages to send back to people. But if you aren't feeling it, they'll be able to tell. And we want you to have a legacy. We want you to feel comfortable and confident every single step of the way, because truly what we have is a step above the rest. There is no other compensation plan out there like Plexus. There are no other products out there like Plexus. And when we are faced with those objections, and they will come, guys, it's not about saying no to us personally, right? It is not going to be everybody's timing. But when we can use the feel, felt, found method, and we're going to talk about that this week, when we can use those things to go back and talk to people and go through their fear stories, because that's what objections are, right? Maybe somebody tells us that they can't afford it. Maybe it's because they've tried something else before and it was really expensive. And so we get to talk through that with them. Maybe their objection is that they don't have the time to do this. Maybe it's because they've had a past experience where they had to take certain things all day long and they had to meal prep and that wasn't their jam, right? There are so many different scenarios. And when people give us those objections, if we just say, oh, hey, yeah, that's fine, maybe later, well, then we just feed those objections, right? If somebody comes to us and they say, I can't afford it, that's too expensive, and we say, yeah, well, when you get paid next time, maybe come to me. That just solidifies what they're already thinking. But when we can take a step back and we can realize our fear stories around this, and this is one that I had, I didn't like to talk about cost. I don't like to talk about money. It's such a taboo subject in our culture, right? But when I got really comfortable talking to people about the way that this has saved us money, when I broke it down per day, what they would be spending, what I was spending, and what I've saved, it completely changed how I handle those objections. Objections will come. They will. But I want you to be comfortable and confident in the way that you love on others and you help them through those objection fear stories. So today, take a few minutes, take a mental note, and even if you want to open up your phone and go back through your last messages with people talking about plexus, think about the objections that you get and think about the objections that you struggle with, because we're diving in this week. So write them down so that when we talk about those objections this week, you can really get over your own fear stories and so you can help others. I can't wait to dive into this because it is a huge foundation in what we do and in gaining that confidence. Have a great week, everybody.